The most expensive moment of your month is not the last week. It is the first, and almost nobody notices it happening. You open the app and the number is right. The weight that has been sitting behind the month lifts. You eat without calculating. You buy the thing that was waiting. You say yes to small things that had a no on them for 10 days. The pressure does not reduce. It disappears. The month stretches out ahead of you. It feels open. Then something moves. You cannot name when. Somewhere in the second week, the balance is lower than the feeling suggested. The costs still coming, the food run, the travel, the things that arrive with their hands out, they are not done. The space has narrowed. The feeling from the first week is already gone. By the last week, you are reading the balance the way you read a phone screen on 4%. Careful, counting, not spending on anything that is not already overdue, just waiting. Waiting for the number to reset. Waiting for the first week to come back. And if someone asked you exactly where it went, you would not have a clean answer. You did not make one large, terrible decision. It moved, quietly, in the first few days, in lots of small movements that each felt reasonable. And now you are in the last week again. This is not a character problem. This is not a discipline problem. This is a very old program running in a very new world, and it is running perfectly, just in exactly the wrong direction. Go back further than history books, before months, before accounts, before salaries, before money. A group of hunters moves back toward camp as the light falls. They have been out for days. The ground is hard. Their bodies are tired. Two of them are limping. They are carrying something heavy between them. And as they come in, the ones waiting at camp see it and know. Tonight there is enough. More than enough. What happens next is not a choice. It is a signal older than language. The group eats. Immediately, fully, not because they lack discipline, not because they are not thinking, but because the brain trained across thousands of years of hunger and abundance holds one deep instruction when the kill arrives. Take it now. Because later it will not be here. Meat spoiled fast in warm air. Hours, not days. There was no cold storage. The smell of the kill traveled far. Other animals came. Other groups were moving through the same land. The window between abundance and loss was short, and it closed without warning. Feasting everything immediately was not greed. It was the only move that made sense. The brain that feasted quickly survived. The brain that reasoned and held back lost the food to heat and competitors. So the brain was shaped over generations to fire a feeling when abundance arrived after effort. A feeling of permission, relief, rightness, of finally being able to breathe without counting every movement. You know this feeling. It arrives on payday. The app opens. The number is right. The signal fires. Spend now. Take what you earned. The hunt is done. The kill is here. Use it while it is here. But your salary does not spoil. The number in your account is not going to rot overnight. It will not be taken by a competing group. It does not attract anything that will be gone by morning. The feast reflex is running ancient code in a world that no longer matches the conditions it was built for. And week 3 is where you pay for that mismatch. The groups that survived the longest were not the ones who feasted hardest. They were the ones who had one habit before the feast began. Before the fire was built up, before the eating started, before the relief of the return fully opened, a portion was moved. Quietly, deliberately. Not everything, not even much. Root stores, dried food, sealed fat. Food that could travel. Food that would last. Set aside and protected before the group sat down to eat. Not as punishment, not as a rule enforced from outside, as a system, held by the people who had watched what happened when it was skipped. They had seen groups feast everything from one kill and face the next 2 weeks empty. They did not take away the feast. They changed the order. Store first, then feast. Your payday already has a feast reflex installed. It will fire. You do not need to stop it. The first week feeling is real and it is earned. But there is one move missing from the sequence. Before the feast, the store comes first. Not a large amount, not a punishment. Something small and deliberate, moved before the spending opens. Before the relief signal turns every purchase into a reasonable part of a feast that feels like it will last. One number, separated first, before anything else moves. That is your cash. The modern version of the food your ancestors set aside before they allowed themselves to eat. Not savings as guilt, not budgeting as restriction. The oldest financial move that exists. The one that fed the camp through the second and third weeks. The one that meant the last week was not the punishment week. The first week after payday does not have to be your most expensive week. It can be the week you store and then feast. The last week does not have to be the waiting week. It can be the week the store was already there. You do not need to change how payday feels. You only need to change the order. One move. Before the feast begins. Store first. Then feast. The store first move sounds simple. The hard part is making it automatic before the feast signal fires. That is the next episode. Subscribe so you are there